What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager save. This is episode number 88. And today returning with our first two Bundesliga games of Season 2 with Dortmund as faced Bayer Leverkusen, last year's third place team away at the Bayer Arena, and Eintracht Frankfurt at home. Before we get to the games though, shout out for getting off camera, and also some interesting transfer business as well. Let's get to that first. Yep, so we have made a sale, and it was a reluctant sale. Richard Moulin, the young Frenchman who we had last season, we inherited with Borussia Dortmund, has gone to Stuttgart. As I always say, oftentimes when you sell a player, the market valuation just inflates to a ridiculous fee. I don't think he's worth that, but he is a really good player, to be fair. Really, really solid. Of course, we inherited him with Dortmund. He's not an academy player, though. Was signed from St Etienne. We had him last year, but practically all of his games came from off the bench. Really, he was a good squad player, but in the end, Stuttgart met a £32.5 million fee with clauses that could rise to 42 mil, and it's likely to reach 42 mil as well, due to the fact he needs to hit 20 league games, which he should do with Stuttgart. He's only got one, and that will see an extra £8 million get added. So yeah, he's decent. He's hard work, and he's my sort of player. You know, great fitness, great stamina, good determination, teamwork, and work rate. He's my sort of player, but he wanted to leave. He wanted to leave last year, he wanted to leave this year, and I said I'm not in the business of keeping players if they don't want to stay. So Richard leaves, and yeah, I like him a lot, but he wanted to go, so be it. So that's raised our budget up to £26.5 million, and I'm going to be honest, guys, you've read the title today. Let's just say I found his replacement, and he's still in school. I'm going to show you who I'm going to try and sign today. He looks ridiculous. So as we know, Dortmund have this fantastic record of bringing in under 18 players and then developing them for the future. I want to keep that same philosophy, even though I'm now in charge. We've already signed a couple of good young players to watch out for the future. But I think this kid could become the next best player in world football. 15-year-old Angelo Landschutter. Oh my God. Can I say that again? 15 years old. And these are his stats. This has got to be the best 15-year-old I've ever seen. In the save with Nuremberg, he didn't play at all last year when they were relegated, but they might as well have thrown him out there and broken the Bundesliga record, because this kid is just ridiculous. I mean, absolutely ridiculous. Physically, okay, there's not a lot there, and he's only 5'9", but again, he's 15. He's 15. He's not done yet, I tell you. He's got amazing mental stats, 18 determination, 16 decisions, 16 flair, 16 work rate, and technically already at again 15 dribbling, 16 finishing, 16 first touch, 14 passing, and 16 for technique. Now, he is a natural CM. I think personally, if he gets a little bit stronger, he's already got 11 for tackling, 11 for marking, and 11 for positioning. He could possibly play as a box-to-box midfielder, but really, I mean, this guy at 15 can be turned into any position sort of player you want. But at just 15 years old, I'm going to bring him in. And even if I've got to pay like £20 million or something to bring this guy in, I'm doing it. I'm going to do it right now as well, because he is just, like, literally, I don't think I've ever seen a better 15-year-old than this. He would already walk into most teams in the Bundesliga with no problem at all. I don't like doing installments. I really don't. I'd rather just pay the cash up front. You know what I mean? And sometimes you can get them cheaper if you do that. Nuremberg, not too keen so far though. 19 million? No. How about we meet in the middle? 19.75. Okay, 19.75 million. That is a world record fee for a 15-year-old. But when you look at his stats, I know what you're thinking. At 15, not a single senior appearance in pro football. But this guy, I don't think I've ever seen a better looking 15-year-old than this in terms of these stats. This guy is ridiculous. And of course, in the last episode, you saw our win in the Super Cup. My first victory over Bayern since joining Borussia Dortmund, and my first minor honour with the club as well. Just a one game off camera. It was our first round of the DFB Pokal. We got away to amateur side Bonner and won by 11 goals to nil. Araujo scored 5, TL scored 4, Wimmer got 1, and Oscan scored from the spot as well. So we joined against Borussia Mönchengladbach away in the second round, but again, our first run in the Bundesliga. I think we should be able to beat the majority of these teams here before we get to Bayern Munich, but Leverkusen last year finished in third place in the league, only behind us on goal difference. So I've said before, I feel as though they are just as good as, if not better than us right now in the Bundesliga. Klopp has left though. For those curious, he's gone to Atletico Madrid, and their team hasn't got much better than last season. So the real question is, with all the money we spent and Leverkusen barely adding to their quality, have we now taken a step up? Well, I guess we'll see today. So heading into the game, as we are the late kickoff here on Saturday, this will be our team, 4-2-3-1, and this is our lineup on the back of the win in the Super Cup. Like I said, this, in my opinion, will be our best first 11 this year, even though Kruse is not a DLP yet. So Cabell's in goal, at the back for his Nets, the Dragon, Creswell and Striddy, with Kruse and Ozcan and Joe. Company's on the left, Ramirez on the right, and Reina supports Mukoko. On the bench, you've got Olszewski, Schlotterbeck, Mane, Sambi Lakonga, Brahim Diaz, Vimatiel, and Araujo as well. Oh, actually, no, we're missing a sub, aren't we? Because we just sold Richard. Let's put Watchen on the bench there as a nice little utility man. So, first of the two games, it's Leverkusen away at the Bayer Arena. Can we beat them for the first time in a save? Let's find out. Come on, Dortmund. Yeah, it might take a while for Kruse to become a certified natural DM, but I just don't see him playing many games at left back because Luka Netz is in the prime of his career right now and had a great season last year. There's no need to drop him at 28 years old. And obviously Striddy, we're changing him to right back. So I don't really see the point in having another world-class fullback. So to me, DLP as well will get the most out of him. First highlight coming, 16 minutes in. And as Ozcan goes up for that corner, it's cleared away. We're playing with an extra man right now. Leverkusen temporarily down to 10. Can we take advantage? Kruse finds Mukoko. Our two new signings linking up. And the deflection carries the ball straight to Karnasechi. Still 0-0, but a good start from Dortmund. Dragon to Kruse. And Company takes over now. Mukoko could be through there and he's found him. Yusufa straight at the keeper and cleared by Leverkusen. Well, that's just saved me £50,000, but I would have preferred the goal. Still 0-0 and our first proper chance goes begging. And you don't say that very often with Yusufa missing a golden one-on-one chance. Still 0-0 with 4 minutes to go for the break as Kruse intercepts our former player Pugliese. Great tackle by the Argentine though. And that's why I signed him with Bournemouth and why Enrique signed him with Leverkusen. Still 0-0 across the far post. Florian Wirtz loses out to Netz. Reina loses out to Svedberg though. And the header goes just over. It's been a game of half chances thus far apart from the one good one we have from Mukoko. Still 0-0 but defensively I'm impressed by this. Leverkusen haven't been able to find a single opening in our back four so far. Bedini, the young English new gen, crossfields to Kaniva. Leverkusen trying to work their way forward here with Svedberg. Florian Wirtz out wide to the fullback. Great chance here in behind Luka Netz. Can he whip across into middle? He can. And it's headed in at the far post. Leverkusen take the lead. And we're down by a goal at the Bayer Arena. Fuck's sake, honestly. I mean, I still feel as though we're a level below Bayern, even after all of this recruitment in the summer. I think we can push them this year. I do. I think we can get closer this year. I do. But I still feel as though Leverkusen are just as good as we are. Even with all the money we spend, as Florian Wirtz makes it too. We're just not there yet, you know? I mean, it's only my second year at Dortmund. I said the first 3 years, I would say, are all about maintaining Champions League football, getting back into the top four and staying there. But it's disappointing to know that in all our league meetings so far against what I would say are the top two teams in Germany, we've lost them all, and so far we haven't scored in any either. Oof, wake up call. Wake up call for Dortmund here. 2-0 down at the Bayer Arena, and we're once again going to come up short against Leverkusen. I cannot believe that in 5 meetings so far against Leverkusen and Bayern, we've lost all but one, and we haven't won one, and we haven't even scored a goal yet. Wow. Seriously. Romero down the right-hand side. We get a goal here. He's got men in the middle. He's found Reina, and there is our first goal against a Leverkusen or a Bayern. It's Reina with the finish. 2 of the OGs that we inherited, and Dortmund are back in it with half an hour to go. Right then. Can we find a second and come back from 2 goals down to level and force a point? I'll take it. Final chance for Dortmund. Spurs. Romero goes away, but no. Poor pass. Araujo wins. He's got Mukoko in the middle. He'll find him. Mukoko. Oh, what a miss. Yusufa Mukoko has just missed an absolute sitter. Twice in the same game. I can't believe it. He saved me 100k, but he could have picked us up a big 3 points on match day 1 instead. Nets, Company, Anthony shoots. Oh, Mukoko this time wins it. So he levels it. Oh, dear, oh dear. It took him 3 bites of the cherry, but he finally gobbles one up, nets into company, and he seemed to miss-hit a shot there as kind of Sechi fumbles, and Yusufa wasn't going to miss for the 3rd time in a row. Let that be a lesson to you. Yusufa Mukoko does not miss 3 sitters in the same game. I mean, he really shouldn't do for as good as he is. It's 2-2, and now Romero hits it long, and Company's on the end of it. It's Anthony Company. It's Mukoko! Dortmund have won it, but it's going to go to VAR. Was Company offside when the ball was first played? He was. It's disallowed. And Mukoko thought he'd turned the game on its head, but it's disallowed. I thought Mukoko was onside when Company played the ball through. I think it was actually Anthony that was offside when Romero hit the crossfield diagonal. But it will finish 2-2, and to be fair, I will take it. I know it was actually Mukoko. It must be the... Oh, yeah, to be fair, he was just offside. Yeah, right call. Right call. I thought the man at the far post was keeping him on there, but no, right call by the VAR. And the goal's disallowed, rightfully so. Well... It's a point, but I will say to the boys, if you look at the numbers, we should have won that. So despite the result, trust the process. We'll be successful if we keep that up. Yusuf with a disallowed goal and 2 howlers on one-on-ones. We really should have won that, but in the grand scheme of things, away at the Bar Arena, I mean, I'll take it. It was only 2 of 3 losses we had last season away from home. I'll take it. I'll take the point. And as for Landshuter, I am going to give him the contract now. I know it's ridiculous to spend close to £20 million on a player that's yet to play a senior game of football, but, you know, come on, man. How is this guy not going to become one of the best players in European football with those stats at 15? Just absolutely extraordinary. You might notice that in my contracts, there are a couple of clauses that I just refuse to give out. One of those is a yearly wage rise. I don't believe you should automatically get one. No. You get a rise if you deserve it. A raise if you deserve it. But the other is an unused substitute fee. You think I'm going to pay you for sitting on the bench and not even playing? No. Like, I am never giving an unused substitute fee to a single player. I don't care who you are. By the way, I forgot to share this in the season opener. For those that follow me on Twitter, at @DotClowns, you would have seen it. Kazada snubbed me. I offered him everything I had here with Dortmund in the summer. This is before Mukoko. Or was it after Mukoko? I can't remember now. But even so, he turned me down to stay in England and join the Red Devils. So that stung. That stung a bit, to be fair. He had an amazing year last year without me. We were born for 11 goals in 33 and 7 assists as well. But I'm sure we'll see Real once again. But now we're in that iconic number 7 at Manchester United. It stung, I'm not going to lie. But I'm sure we'll see him once again. Imagine Kazada on the right and Company on the left. Goodness gracious. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say as well, we also sold another player too. Where are we? It's actually not here, but we sold one of our... maybe it's because he's part of our reserve team, but we sold a young midfielder we had. Can I find him in the social feed? No, I should be able to find it by searching, though. It's a young holding mid we had, a young Korean holding mid. We sold him to Brentford. Again, the market valuation always inflates, but he wanted to go, and in the end, we just make a bit of profit on the guy. So, yeah, he's gone. But anyway, this is going to be one of his replacements here coming in, replacing Mulan, and also our young South Korean, Angelo Landshuter, is in, and he won't be able to sign until November, because that is when he will turn 16 years old. But, oh no, did he come in straight away? Oh, he does. I thought he had to wait until he was 16, but he is in. And this guy, he could be in our first team right now, honestly. He could be in our first team right now. Oh, I see. Yeah, he can't sign a professional contract until his 16th birthday. But, goodness gracious me. Do I put him in the first team straight away? Break a Bundesliga record? I mean, this kid is unbelievable, man. Surely he's good enough for the Bundesliga already. He's just... remarkable. What a talent. Do you know, I don't know if I'm actually able to register him. I don't think I am. Does that mean... Oh, I see. So a player has to be... So in the Bundesliga, you can't play players that are 15 or younger. That's a shame. There must be a... Is it in the rules? Where's the overview rules? There we go. Yeah, players on... Oh, I see. Players under 16 are not allowed to. That's a shame. That's a shame, but let me tell you, as soon as he turns 16, he's definitely getting in the team. It's November, isn't it? So I think he could make his debut there, away at the Volkspark Stadion against Hamburg. Yeah, he's actually, do you know what? He's actually born on my birthday, 29th of November. Sagittarius, we've got the same birthday, me and Angelo. And don't worry, mate, you know, play a few games in the under-19s. On our birthday, our shared birthday, we'll give you your debut. We'll give you your debut so long as you're not injured. And we're going to sell another one of our reserve players, Shedrack Chibueze, a young Nigerian striker. There's quite a few of our players that are in the reserve team that want to leave. Which is interesting because I don't really know why, because they're still so young. But every time a club approaches them, they say they want to go. But do you know what? We've got a great first team, and we've got some great youngsters coming through. So if they do want to go, I'm not going to stand in their way. So Shedrack goes. We'll get just a little bit of money here and there. And Shedrack the latest to leave us. So there's still a little bit of money to play with here. And Schuster getting a goal on his debut for the under-19s as well. Oh man, I can't believe I've spent almost £20 million on a 15-year-old. But I don't think I'm ever going to see a player like this again at 15. I mean, it's ludicrous, absolutely ludicrous. I've never seen a player look this good at 15. And the fact he's on my birthday as well is just a nice little kind of fitting feeling, you know. What a talent. This guy, surely, if he develops, could become the best player in the world, no doubt. Right then, second and final game of this episode, Eintracht Frankfurt, our first game at the Signal Iduna Park this season. Bayern already beginning their title defence off with 2 wins in 2, so we got to win our home games this year to have any chance of battling Bayern for the title this season for sure. So heading into the game, whoops, that's my under-19 side, heading into the game, this will be our team staying with the same tactics and team. We conceded 2 sloppy goals against Leverkusen early in the second half. We tighten up. I'm sure we'll get the goals here against Frankfurt and win the game. So this is our team. Cabell's in goal, but for his Nets, the Dragon, Creswell and Striddy, and once again it's Cruiser and Ozcan. Company on the left, Romero on the right, and Reina supporting Mukoko. On the bench you got Olszewski, Schlotterbeck, Mane, Kiel, Watjen. How do you pronounce that? Is it Watjen or Watjen? Or Kiel. Sami Lokonga, Brahim Diaz, Vimatiel, and Araujo as well. Second and final game, Eintracht Frankfurt. Let's pick up our first win in the Bundesliga this season here at home. Come on, Borussia Dortmund. Was it Frankfurt we lost to on the last game of the season last year, where we played really poorly and had a really silly 1-0 defeat? I think it was Frankfurt. Anyway, let's get our revenge here and get a big victory in our first home game of the year. It's Stefano, which one's the far post, and Mukoko hits the post, and Frankfurt scramble it away. I know he's going to cost me a fortune in goal bonuses, but I'm sure he's going to be one of the top scorers this season, no doubt about that. I can't believe he missed those 2 great chances on the open day. Maybe some nerves. Never forget Haaland's Community Shield performance last season, the start of last season, and what happened afterwards. May it will be the same for Mukoko. His Striddy down the right-hand side leaves Lindstrom in the dust, and Giovanni Reina converts his second of the season already. Great run by Stefano, and the American wraps up the counter-attack. Charlie gets up, and now Romero turns his man down the right-hand side and gets into the area. Great run by Luca. Can he whip one to the back post? He can. And it's a howler. Absolute howler by Schwab. And Anthony Company converts from about 2 yards out. Poor start this from Eintracht Frankfurt. And we look as though we are going to get our revenge already. Just 15 minutes in. It's a great run by Romero. I want to see that on a 3D there, because the goalkeeper just seemed to misjudge the flight of the ball. Cross takes a deflection. Oh, it's not a foul, is it? He just gets nowhere near it. Poor goalkeeping. Company converts 2-0. A lot of people think that goalkeepers are overprotected in the modern game. I disagree, personally. But you definitely ain't going to blow up for a foul there. That was just shocking goalkeeping. Got nowhere near the ball as we lead by 2. And Cruiser tries to find Mukoko, flicks on. And Schwab's poor kick is won back by Ozcan, and he's having a shocker. 2 goals conceded in the space of a minute. Dortmund go 3-0 up. Question marks over whether Reina was offside though when Ozcan nodded the ball on. I thought he was on personally, and it is indeed a goal. Shocking start for Schwab. Poor kick, and even the finish really was practically straight at him. And he's having a really tough afternoon out there. Reina with the finish, his second of the game. It is 3-0 already. throw. Dortmund, Luca nets to take, and now Reina gives it him straight back as Company whips one to the far post, and Romero, oh, good save by Schwab, to be fair, redeems himself somewhat with a good stop there and keeps it at just a 3-0 for now. We keep up this intensity, we'll get a fourth goal not before long. Corner, Frankfurt, and, well, there is a fourth goal, but it's not for us. Maddie Collins heads home the Hansen Aaron corner, and Eintracht Frankfurt have got one back. Well, from 3-0 up and cruising, Frankfurt are back in it. Collins hits it long, but Creswell wins it back as Nets heads to Company. And Cruiser sends it over the top. What a ball. And Yusufa chips it, but it's cleared off the line. And that saved me 50k. I could have spent about 200k in today's episode on Mukoko. In the end, so far, I've only spent 50. Clearance off the line, it's still 3-1, but what a ball that was by Cruiser. And that is why I want to keep playing him as a deep-lying playmaker, because the vision, the decision-making, the range of passing is just so good. Leading by 2, second half begins, but really, we should be home and dry by now. Striddy with this free kick just inside the Frankfurt half, chips it for Romero towards the corner flag. Luca keeps it in play and finds Reina on a hat-trick, and he's got it. Giovanni Reina drills over the near post, and that will do it. Hat-trick for the American, 4-1 Dortmund, our first win of the season confirmed. Dragon to Creswell as we look for a 5th goal here with Oscan on the halfway line, hitting it long for Romero, and Luca down the right-hand side keeps hold of the ball and crosses, and there is Mukoko's goal. Finally gets one. It's 5-1. Well, this game is confirmed, but we don't want to concede a second goal here. That would be a bit of a negative in what has otherwise been a really good performance out there. And as Nets clears, instead there's a chance for a break here. And instead, Frankfurt just with no kind of sense of direction whatsoever. I want to see it on a replay. It just seemed like he just span and just hoofed it into the middle. Cabell gets caught in no man's land, and Creswell doesn't get anywhere near the ball. No kind of plan, no kind of build-up, just hoofed into the middle, and Frankfurt get their second. That is such a poor goal to concede. Well, you certainly can't say you're disappointed by a 5-2 scoreline, but defensively in this game we were quite poor, and we will need to tighten up if we are to be able to close out the much more difficult games, if you will. So I'll say nice work everyone, that was good, but defensively, even though there's a lot of green here, I wasn't too impressed by that. The 2 goals we conceded, one from a set piece and an aimless ball over the top, that shouldn't happen to a team like ours. Right then, now and in today's episode of the Football Manager Save, guys. So big thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, if you had a please like, you'll have a fantastic day. I will return in the very next episode with, I'd imagine, what would be the first game of the Champions League phase. We haven't had a draw yet to see who will be taking on in the 8 games, but we'll probably come back with that. It'll be around here, so I'll probably come back with Hoffenheim away. That was the first team to beat us last season, if you remember, in the Cup. Hoffenheim away, and the first game of the Champions League phase, wherever it falls, either side of this game here. Have a great day, guys. Much love, and I'll see you for the next episode of the Football Manager Save very soon.